Okay, hey everyone, welcome back to another video by the Nerd Forum. And in this video, we are going to be texturing a simple asset that I got from CG Trader, like under a project. Okay, I didn't get it. I was doing a Wildcat project, and it was one of the things that I made, and I was planning on making a tutorial on it a couple months ago, but I just never got the time. So now that I have the time, I'm making that tutorial for you guys. So this is initially supposed to be a 3D code Textura tutorial, but I have a 3D code license, meaning I've got pretty much both 3D code and Textura in one software. Unlike having the 3D code Textura license itself, I was gifted by 3D code with the 3D code license. So if you are using 3D code Textura, which is much cheaper, the license is cheaper, it's great for you. This tutorial is for you. It's just some things won't probably be in the same place as the Textura, but it's a 3D code Textura tutorial. Just I'll be using 3D code because I don't have a 3D code Textura license. I have a 3D code license. I wish they were interchangeable, but it's okay. Okay, so let's import the model. So we're gonna go to import model for per pixel painting. It's this one right here. So I've already textured this model before. I'm just going to show you guys the process. So my normal map software preset is going to be set to Unreal Engine. I'm not going to change it to Blender. I think Unreal Engine is pretty good. And then UV map typing, I'm going to keep it as keep UV because I already have UVs that I made for the model. And then UV set name, I'm assuming, okay, let me just call it air fryer. And then the texture set size, this texture size, I'm gonna set it to 4K. Great, press OK. Okay, great, model is imported. So now, right, what I'm gonna want to do, I wanna add some normals. This is the standard procedure that I usually use for most of my texturing techniques. Since I didn't make normals in a separate software, I usually make them in 3D code. I find it easier and simpler. I'm just going to add a couple normals to the model before I bake any textures like the AO or the curvature, because I want both those textures to include the normals that I'm going to apply onto the model. So yeah, I'm going to turn off the diffuse channel and the glossiness channel. Then I'm going to come to stencils and click on this dye grid type of thing. Then I'm gonna come to fill, the fill tool. Okay, great stuff. Now, can I preview it? Okay, I don't want to preview anything. I just want to tweak the size, so I like the size. I don't want it to be too big and I don't want it to be too small. By the way, the depth up here is set to 100. You can always change that if you guys want to change it. I think that's great amount. Okay, now I want to add a couple like ridges to these knobs over here, just these 3 knobs. So I want to I don't know if you guys, I have kind of added a couple of stencils, like custom ones. I'm not sure if most people have this, but I know I probably have it because I probably made it for myself. But if you have it, lucky you, that's great for you. It's great for making ridges. So I'm just gonna orient it to, oh yes, the way it's unwrapping. I want to set this mapping to UV mapping instead of cube mapping, because the cube mapping is its own cube calculations. Something kind of like a smart UV unwrap. So yeah, perfect. That's what I want. So I just want to make it look straight. So I'm happy. Yeah, I think that's great. Let me see. Perfect. So I'm going to apply the ease on those 3 parts. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the normals I want right now. Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to bake the curvature and the ambient occlusion. So if you're using 3D code Textura, your baking thing might be in a different place. So mine is under calculate occlusion, calculate curvature. There's probably a part, I think under textures, Yeah, it's probably under textures somewhere around here. So yeah, probably somewhere here. I'll probably show you guys where it is. But yes, there's a part for baking that. So I'm gonna bake the the curvature first. I'm gonna bake the curvature with the local RGB. There's the previous one, that like the old fashioned one that I was used to, the gray one. I don't know if it was grayscale or something. But yes, I was using this one before because I found it to be faster. I don't have a beast type of computer, so I'd usually use this one, local curvature. But I don't think my specs are pretty bad on my computer, so I'm gonna stick to the local curvature RGB. So I'm gonna press OK, so it starts calculating. So I've already made them already, but just for the video's sake. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new one. Okay, great. And the color of this material, I have an image. So I already had an image that I got the color from. I'm gonna just show you how I did it again for the video's sake. Okay, so I made the image in like GIMP just to get the color that I wanted. Okay, so now I got the color. I'm gonna press OK, and then I'm gonna set the roughness to somewhere around 14, 15. Yeah, perfect roughness. So I'm kind of going for the vintage old look for this air fryer. I kind of want it to look like an old toaster. So if you are wondering what HDR I'm using, um, under HDR, I'm using the parking lot. Yes, the parking lot. I'm not really a fan of this one because it doesn't really show much of the color. So yeah, I rather stick to the parking lot. So I'm gonna turn on all the other channels, the diffuse and the glossiness, and then I'm gonna apply. Oh, I forgot. I still have a stencil that is on, so I just have to deactivate the stencils, the X. Yeah, that happens sometimes. So yes, apply that. So right now I'm just applying on the places that have paint. And this one as well, that as well, that as well, and these parts. Okay, now the rest of the parts, those are metallic. So I'm gonna remain on the same layer. I don't think I want to change layers too much. So I have a metal material. Let's double click it. So it's pretty much a new material, and then I set the roughness to 30 and the metalness to 100. So if you want to copy these stats, then yeah, or these, I don't know, details. Okay, let me just press cancel so I don't have to override anything. Then I'm apply these onto the parts that I want to be metallic. So I want that metallic. Mm, yeah. Oh, I forgot. So if I apply the metal onto the knob with the normal channel on, it actually erases the whole normal thing that I did there. So it means I do everything, turn off the normals, and yeah, perfect. That's how I want it. So it can include the whole normals that I just baked. Okay, that's great. You can add that as well. That as well. And then this top, I actually want a different code for that. So, okay, so for now, I know there's a brass somewhere around here in the default panel. The brass right there. Okay, on the brass, I got the brass. So I just want to make this brass Yeah, and I want to make that small thing of the metallic. I know once you get like familiar with Recode, you tend to make a whole lot of different materials that you even forget when you made these materials because like you've had them there sitting there for such a long time. So under that, I don't know if I should use brass or a different type of material on the top. I don't know. I think the brass. Like, I don't want the brass at all. So you see metal old. Let's see how it looks. Mm, let me see. Oh, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite at all. How this looks. Ah, I forgot. I still have the normals turned off. Turn those back on. Then if I keep it on, it's gonna erase all that stuff that I made. So no, let me turn it back off. Let me just probably stick to the brass and see how it looks. This is the brass and see how it looks. Brass two. Yeah, I think the brass two is how it looks. A bit more shiny, right? Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I think that's cool. Probably a version of brass that I made that's a bit like I decreased some of the intensities. Certain things will probably increase, but I like the way this one looks a lot. So okay, yeah, I think these parts are done. Now the parts that I want to have rubber on them, I'm gonna come back to default. Um, I probably didn't do it in rubber. Probably make a new one in rubber. Let me see. Roughness. I want the roughness to be around like 48. And then I make this kind of dark. Around 57. 57 looks great. I'm not gonna name it. Give it as rubber. I'll apply this to the and also the legs on the legs using rubber. So right now we'll probably just like drop like just fill painting, not anything too hectic. So I mean so far it looks pretty cool, nothing too hectic. So I just want to add the graphics that are gonna go on top of this. So press 5 again to go back to the graphic view. Then just get the angle right. So I want to add a few graphics. So I think actually, okay, let me add a few graphics. Okay, let me add two more layers. Then layer 4. Uh, let me call this layer 5 graphics. I don't usually name my layers when I'm painting, so yeah, I'm used to not naming my layers. Okay, right now I'm going to be on the graphics, and I need pictures. So I'm going to come back to default. I don't think I need any material on the default. I'm going to turn off the whole material panel. And let me see. going to use this one. So I don't want to paint over the knobs. So let me see which one it is. Okay. So holding, is it Alt? Yes, Alt. Then left clicking on the mouse will hide every other thing except what you have selected. So I'm gonna put this from here to here. I want it in black. So yeah, black. Black is perfect. How does this look? That perfect. That's great. That's perfect. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time only showing the numbers. So I'll come up here. Here I'm gonna turn this around. Can I flip image? I don't think I should flip the image. So I want only those parts to show. At the same time, I don't want the numbers to show. I just want the lines. Great, that's okay. So let's get the eraser tool and erase with the rectangular lasso. I don't know why is it erasing that way. It's like this. Okay. Okay, that's better. I don't want any of the numbers to show. Since the knob is going to cover most of these parts, I don't think I need to erase them perfectly. So yeah. And then one more. So let me just hit it from here to here and see how it looks. I don't really like how that looks, but okay. Let me increase that. That's perfect. Now I want to apply the same thing over this one as well. These are just some random graphics that I had from previous projects. They don't really mean anything specific, so let me add the number 6 just right here. And the number 6 right here. Then add the number 2 at the top right here. Okay, let me just draw it out again. At the top right here. And the number 7. These are just random numbers, guys. These don't really mean anything. And the word control, I just want the thing to look more like full from the whole concept of graphics being around it. So add that over here. Control. Perfect. Perfect. So I think those are all the necessary graphics that are needed. And there's a young overlap over here. I'll probably erase it. kind of don't like it. Then it'll look weird. Okay, no, I need to erase it. I don't like how it looks. Yes, right there, perfect. So now I can hold Alt again and bring everything back. That's kind of bad. But I don't think anyone would really notice. So yeah, I know it's cool. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. Thank you guys for watching part 1. We're going to continue in part 2 where we'll add more graphics, scratches, dirt, and color variations that'll make it look a bit more realistic. I appreciate you guys. Till next time.